In whatever you do in life, failing to plan is equal to planning to fail. Hello, friends. This is Stella Sano Bokelo, welcoming you again to the Family Enrichment Hub. I have the honor to be concluding the sub series on preparing for retirement as a family. Today, I want to be speaking about the signs of people who are not prepared to transition into the retirement phase. Success in life, in whatever you do, demands preparation. For instance, when you look at somebody who is going for a job interview, they don't just walk into the interview panel. They do prior preparations. They ask questions. They look at potential aspects that can be examined during the interview so that they increase their chance of actually getting this position. Look at the school process. For those of us who have gone through school at different levels, every level demands that you're going to be examined, you're going to write an examination. And in all these examinations, we do preparation. Nobody walks into an exam when they are not prepared. The levels may vary from person to person, but everybody does some kind of preparation. You find yourself engaged in personal reading, you find yourself doing discussions at group level. You'll do all these different activities in order to position yourself for excellence and indeed for success in the examinations that you intend to write. Look at the birth process when somebody conceives a child. You begin the necessary preparations as you expect to receive this baby. You change your diet in order to suit the needs and demands of the child that you're expecting to bring forth. You're going to avoid certain places and certain people because you need to secure the health and well being of your child. And for those of us who have done house construction, you know what it takes. The thought does not come and immediately you say, yes, now that I've thought of it, let me begin constructing. Construction takes preparation. You need to sit and write the costings. What is expected of you? Do you have the land? Do you have the space for the expansion? Do you have materials on the ground? What materials are missing? What period of time do you need in order to secure the materials that are needed for you to actually get started off with the construction? So, just as you see, all these important aspects of our lives demand preparation. It's no exception for retirement. You must prepare for your retirement. Consider aspects to do with what are you going to do with all this time that is going to be available in your hands. Prepare mentally, prepare psychologically, prepare financially so that you enjoy and indeed you'll have a fruitful retirement season together as a family. And so, allow me to share some of the signs that actually indicate that somebody is not ready for the retirement season. And the first one, you see many people sometimes beginning to negotiate and beg their bosses to extend their period of work within the office space. That is a clear sign of you are not ready to enter the retirement season. You still want to remain in the office space to continue earning a salary. And then for others, you see people beginning to lower their ages. There are many reasons why people lower their age, but among the many reasons, one of them is just so they can increase their time within the office space so that they can dodge and indeed avoid the retirement season altogether. Look at also others who begin to personally divert the office interest and petty cash. Certain organizations work in such a way that the office operations, the office monies that are needed for running the different units are posted into particular accounts which are accessed by the unit heads. And then you notice for some people who are approaching retirement, who are not comfortable with the subject of leaving the office, they begin diverting these monies for their personal use in order to try to catch up with projects that they needed to have done at a much younger age. So when you notice people behaving like that, it's a tell sign of they are actually not prepared for the retirement season. And then there are others who get really harsh and aggressive to their colleagues in the office space, especially the younger colleagues. And I've personally had an experience in this regard. I was one time posted to a certain unit and given an elderly person to nurture me, to train me, to coach me, and just take me through what was expected of me within this position. This person was extremely aggressive. This person was so unfriendly. This person was so hostile. And what I could read was discomfort because this person had just 2 years for them to be exiting the office environment to go into retirement. So I could understand the pain that this person had. So that's why they treated me in that kind of aggressive nature. So when you notice people behaving in that style, it's a sign of they are not comfortable leaving the office environment. For others, they look at it as these are the younger people who are going to continue enjoying and indeed carrying the benefits of the organization to themselves, while for them, they are already out of that space. For others, they begin to even invoke witchcraft in the office environment in order to manipulate bosses and cause them to look at them favorably and cause the bosses to keep giving them extensions so that they can keep around the office environment. All these are signs of people who are not prepared to transition into the retirement phase. They want to do whatever it takes so that they can keep around the office environment. For others, they are not eager, like I've already mentioned, the elderly colleague whom I worked under. They are not willing to share and transfer their knowledge, their skills, their experience to their colleagues because they want to paint a picture of indispensability. They want to show that the organization is better off keeping them around for a longer period of time. All these are signs of somebody who is not prepared. They still want to keep around the office environment. They are not ready to surrender and indeed transition into the new phase of their life. Then you find also those who have not built meaningful friendships outside the office environment. I've also witnessed many people, because of the nature of the office jobs, you find that most of your time is actually spent within the office. So the people you call your friends are actually your colleagues. But outside the office environment, many people struggle because they do not have meaningful friendships, people whom they can run to for social support, for spiritual and psychosocial support. They do not have that network of people. And so the thought of retiring, the thought of leaving the office space is extremely unnerving for them. And so they show that indeed they are not comfortable to leave. That is a sign of you're not ready to transition into retirement because you don't have meaningful friendships outside the office environment. And for others, they have failed to nurture healthy relationship with their spouses. And so the thought of retiring, going home to live under the same roof with somebody who is more or less a stranger in the name of a spouse is just so unnerving for others. That's why I have also been able to witness many couples who after retirement they take their separate ways because they are strangers to one another. Work has been a big distraction for them and they did not nurture friendship and that love between the two of them, so they just cannot live together. And so the alternative for them is to part ways. So when you notice people who have not built healthy relationships with one another, with their spouses, it's a sign that they are not ready to retire and begin living together with that kind of person. And then also those who still live life to impress people. This is a trait and indeed a habit, a characteristic of the much younger people, the youthful generation, of people who are working. Those are the kind of people who still have that urge to live, to impress. But for somebody who is an elder, who is entering the retirement season, and you're still living to impress people, it's a sign that you're actually not ready for retirement. And then those who live on too much debt. You're about to retire, but you're highly indebted. It's a clear sign that you are actually not ready to retire. And then those who have not developed any passions and interests outside of the office space. Many people love to introduce and identify themselves with their job titles. I am officer in charge of this and the other. I am manager this and that. I am the head this and that. Those are beautiful titles. But truth be told, retirement is coming. So when you're exited from the organization, what is going to happen with your life? What will be your identity? So when you notice people do not have an identity outside their titles, it's a clear sign they are not ready for retirement. And then also look at the ones who have had the benefit of living in government and company houses. When the time for retirement comes, they are most times not ready because they have not built a house. Where are they going to retire to? So that is also a sign of people who are actually not ready for retirement. And then there are those who want to burden their children with their financial obligations. You begin hearing parents talking of so and so, you're going to manage this financial responsibility. You're going to pay fees for so and so. I also paid your fees. You hear statements like, if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be where you are. When you begin allocating financial responsibilities and obligations to others and to people whom you've supported at a certain point in your work life, it's a sign that you're not ready for retirement. Allow me to conclude with this. Ecclesiastes chapter 7 verse 8 tells us that the end of a matter is more important than its beginning. Retirement is the final lap of our lives. And so you better make your retirement count. Better make your retirement fruitful. Better make it inspiring. Better make it a story that is worth rewriting, that is worth emulating. Thank you, friends, for listening in. Kindly share widely, for I believe this is how we shall truly transform our society through the family. God bless you. Bye.